Congress shall make no law respecting the establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press or the right of the people to freely assemble and petition the government for a redress of their grievances. It's the First Amendment. It's all that matters.
Ladies and gentlemen, this week's special guest is Smell-Mo! You gotta be kidding me!
Ow. Ow.
Trying to steal the show? Let me introduce my producer, Edwin J. No, he's not the fourth stooge. Excuse me a second. Oh, wait a minute. Producer, let me give you a little tea for totaling.
Is this diet iced tea?
Yeah, it's diet iced tea. Hey, could you fill me in about the boys? Something that even big fan I don't know?
Well, there's a lot to it. The Three Stooges, they started out as a stage act, and there was Moe, Larry, and Shemp. They also had a guy named Ted Healy who used to slap him around. And if you look at any of the old stuff, it's really bad. I mean, he was really slapping him around, and it wasn't funny, I didn't think. But at any rate, he just terrorized him. He kept all the money, and he'd just give them like dinner money. That's what they'd get for working for him. And eventually that got tired. They were out in a club somewhere, and Shemp had left because he was tired of no money. Their brother Curly came in, who had a lot of curly hair. That's why they called him Curly, but they shaved it all off so he could be a character. They were in a club one night, and they started doing a routine, just the three of them. And MGM Pictures saw them and said, "Wow, you guys are pretty good. Where's the other nut? We don't want him. We like you." You know, they like just the Three Stooges. And they started doing a few little things, and Ted Healy got real mad. I mean, to a point where he was furious. So what he did was he fixed it at MGM where they lost their jobs. Well, Columbia, they were the other people producing shorts at that time, said, "We'll take you. We know you've got talent. We're going to give you," they gave him like $500, said, "Do 4 episodes and let's see how they come out." Well, they were hits instantly.
Wait, 500 in what year?
1934.
1934. What did it cost to go to the movies back then? About a nickel?
Yeah, a nickel. So, you know, it was not bad money. I mean, it wasn't big money, but it was better than the average person was, you know, earning, especially during the Depression, which the Democrats created. Herbert Hoover. At any rate, go.
Why go off on tangents? He's just telling the truth. But go ahead about the Three Stooges.
Yeah. So what ended up happening was they were such a big hit. They said, "We're going to give you a 5-year contract for $2,800. You know, $700 a man."
A week?
No, a year. A year, yeah. So, and at that time, you could live on $700 a year. I mean, bread was 2 cents. You know, I mean, you know, $700 went a long way. And they'd always go in and ask for raises. And he said, "No, we made a deal." And when the Stooges ended in 1958, still making $2,800 a year. You know,
1958.
In 1958.
How did Curly support all his gambling?
And, you know, the only one that saved money was Moe. Moe ended up with all the money. The rest of them were all big partiers. You know, Moe owned a nice little house. Larry kept moving from hotel to hotel, you know, different places. He always had room service, you know. Moe stayed at home. They cooked the food. You know, I mean, they stayed conservative, and they did pretty well with things. Now, along comes 1959 and television. Here's the real winner. somebody was going through the files and they said, let's watch some Three Stooges shorts. They put them on. They said, we could put these on television. The kids would love them. They signed 60 cities, $10 million. Guess what the Stooges got? What do you say?
Nada? Zero?
Not zero. Not a penny. Not a penny. They could, these guys, they could have slipped them a little something. So what ended up happening was they got a lawyer involved, a guy named Norman Maurer. He was a son-in-law. He was a lawyer. He went in and said, look, you already made a lot of money on these guys. Now you're selling it to all these cities. You can't throw them a nickel. Henry Cohen, good man, president, that signed him the original contract, said, we made a deal. They got paid. We own the property. They get nada.
Wait. Castellano is not politically correct. I support the Jews. Henry Cohen says this. Where do you think you got term? You're being a Jew. Jew? Look, I support you. But in this case, you earned your reputation. Proceed.
And you think, what were you saying before? If you're screwing somebody that hard, you might want to give them a few extra bones just to, keep them around.
So a few extra bones or some flowers or candy or something.
Yeah, they never got anything. I mean, Columbia started selling the baseball cards with the Stooges on them. They kept all the money on that. So at any rate, this guy Norman Maurer finally got into Columbia's skin. They said, look, here's what we want you to do. They're hot. Everybody loves them. Sign them to a movie deal. Make 4 or 5 movies. And they ended up getting, I think, upwards of 400,000 or 500,000 a movie, which they split between Mo, Larry, and Curly Joe, who had replaced Shemp after he died. But, they did the Three Stooges in orbit. What are the other ones? 3 in Texas.
Three Stooges mean Hercules.
Snow White. Yeah. So they ended up making a little money. And what ended up happening was, eventually, Mel Gibson, of all people, went to Columbia.
Wait a minute. Is this the Mel Gibson that
Yeah.
looked like he was really a good guy and ended up being a Jew hater?
Yeah.
Okay, so what happened now? Tell me.
He ended up going to Columbia, and he said, how much do you want for the package? And they said, well, the Stooges really aren't for sale. Well, his lawyer found in a clause in an old contract, Mo's been dead 20 years, mind you, that after a certain amount of years, the ownership expires and it has to be sold for a reasonable price. So he actually negotiated the deal, bought it, and now he owns the property and shares it with, the Stooges' relatives or, who's ever left alive. But, just...
Mel Gibson.
Mel Gibson. Yep.
His father hated Jews?
Yeah.
The same Mel Gibson. Folks, I don't want to talk bad about Mel because he did a couple of good things. The Passion of Christ was exceptional. But you know what, Mel? Your human side got to you. Beating broads, screwing the Stooges.
Smashing people with telephones.
Folks, don't understand it? Go ahead, proceed. I'm sorry. I get excited.
Yeah.
You want to do something to Castellano? Come and try. You want to do something about the show's producer? Go ahead, I'll watch. Go ahead.
All right, let me just finish up here. Okay, what we've done recently, and you've probably seen it, we did a Stooges segment, we did a Famous Monsters segment. You got the call-in number here at the bottom of the screen. If there's a subject you think you might want us to do something on, because behind every famous story, there's always skeletons in the closet. I mean, there just is, and, call us.
Speaking of famous stories, you look at the skeletons in his closet, it's like a graveyard. Edwin J., folks. Round of applause. Nobody's applauding. It's all right. Go back and go to sleep. Eat popcorn, go to the bathroom. Edwin J.
I'm Jen, and you're watching The Rick Castellano Show. We'll be right back. Don't you move out of that seat.
Stay tuned for more of The Rick Castellano Show.
Now for a local story. A little story of interest. Why am I wearing this shirt? Well, Castellano's got a part in Spider-Man 4. I played a Sandman. Who else could have played one of the toughest villains ever? Me. Now on to the story. Folks, a lot of Buffalo fans in Rochester. Me? Am I a Buffalo fan? Well, I tried to be. During the Flutie years, the Bledsoe years, I liked them. What happened? They both got screwed. First season there, Bledsoe throw thousands of yards, breaking records. And what do? They replace him. And they send him on to Dallas. Flutie, the leader of the team, let him on victory after victory. How do they reward him? The playoff game to Tennessee, they let Rob Johnson. Rob who? What are you playing, the USL, playing marbles or something? Anyway, Buffalo's got a big history. What was it, 3, 4 Super Bowls? Producer? How many Super Bowls they had in a row?
3.
3 Super Bowls. They lost to the Giants, they lost to Dallas. You made it to the Super Bowl, you lost a big one. Anyway, I tried to be a fan. I watch every week. Sometimes I'm watching another game. I'll click the channel and tune in. Time after time, I'm disappointed. Coach after coach, I'm disappointed. Folks, let me go back to the Super Bowl because Castellano's got to say, if he's got something on his chest, I'll get it off it. I hated the days with Cornelius Bennett, Thurman Thomas, Machine Gun Kelly, I don't know. Half of these guys were insects. They were full of themselves. They went out partying and stuff. I didn't like them. So the Super Bowl years, although maybe I may like them now, I didn't like them then. Now, other years in Buffalo history, you know what? One of the years I paid most attention to Buffalo? They had a running back, let's see what his name is. O.J. Simpson? I actually like the guy. Look at him now. He's in Sing Sing. He's got Blood Brothers or Butt Brothers. I don't know what it is, but one of them. But anyway, this year, Buffalo, I don't know what they lose. 7, 8 games in a row. They finally win one. 6, 7, I don't know. Watch them every week, tune in, whether I'm watching 5 minutes at the end, 5 minutes at the beginning. I tune in. Now their first win against Detroit, it's blacked out because they're greedy NFL. What do they hold? 80,000 seats at their stadium? They sold 74,000 seats. 74,000 seats sold. Bigger than most stadiums. And they're blacked out. The one win that Buffalo gets this year, and I'm watching Cinderella. So, folks, Buffalo, NFL, I don't know who's at fault, but you know what? You're not going to make me a fan anytime soon. Either you get Cower with the chin you could cut beefsteak rounds on, or you get Parcells, you get somebody. I'm not watching. What are you going to bring T.O. over? T.O., what do you do? Unless you got somebody blocking for the quarterback, unless you got a good quarterback and a good team, T.O.'s nobody. Or maybe we'll get Oko Balzo, old Cinco, or some people with the braids hanging on the back of their helmet. I could grab them by the braids and fling them across the field. That's what I think about hair hanging off the helmets. Anyways, let's get back to Buffalo. The best thing about you guys is the Jills. Smoke them. You're watching the Rick Castellano Show. Tune in each and every week. And if you don't like what you hear, too bad. Ladies and gentlemen, local rap artist, Rochester, New York. Local, folks. This isn't like a guy that went like to the 3rd grade over at School 5. He's a local rap artist. King James. Out with a new song, 610. Fantastic. Let's go back a couple years because the man's been around, folks. One of his best hits until today, I Paid My Dues. King James, and folks, you're really going to like this. If you didn't see it the first time, watch it now. King James. We're here at Dee's Model Diner.
Happy holidays, Rick.
Merry Christmas. I don't think that's going anywhere soon, so it brings me to the Black Rose of the Week. Folks, before I get to the Black Rose of the Week, need a knife to cut through this stuff. Before I get to the Black...
Smell like the mummy.
Yeah, the mummy. It smells like his tomb. Encrypted. All right. My eyes are watering. worse than onions.
Smells like Charlie Raymond.
Yeah. It's,
Did
yeah.
you get censured?
Censured. I'd rather be censured and murdered than hit to put through this. Folks, Castellano deserves a Medal of Honor to go through this segment because the smells here that are protruding brings me to the next segment. Speaking of smells, people say I've been too hard on this lady. Women that called in, they said they sent her a tape of the show. You know what?
Yes, sir.
Castellano's really sorry about this. Shouldn't do anything like this. Castellano sometimes he gets carried away, and he says things that just, No! Castellano tells it like it is. Ellen? Black Rose of the Week goes to you. Why? Why, mind you? Well, I'm suffering right now with all kinds of smells, and I guarantee you out of the shower, I smell the same way. You smell. I smell the same thing. I'm trying to say. But anyway, your girlfriend there, wife, midwife, whatever you're gonna call her, hacksaw, jigsaw. Anyway, she's going through problems. She almost had a nervous breakdown. She almost wanted to kill herself. Well, if I saw you naked, I'd want to kill myself too. Listen, for your money, she sits there and she tells you you're beautiful. Look, you got eyes like a chameleon. Ugly, wrinkled, gnarled. You got bags, sags. You got dark circles under your eyes. You got a nose like a pixie. I guarantee when I see you, like when I see in a National Enquirer and you got like varicose veins all over your legs. I told you I wanted to skip rope. Besides wanting to skip rope, I'm drooling. I'm so excited. I don't know if I'm dying or something like that. Somebody's got to hit me with one of those defibrillators or something like that. But look it, you're a smelly lady. I know it. I didn't know it personally, and I'm glad I don't. But look it. You got varicose veins all over the place. Big, fat, smelly legs. You wear like pantsuits. You're dancing all over the stage, and I don't know what kind of dance you're doing. I don't know if it's the Irish jig or whatever thing you're doing. American Idol, they booed you off the stage. You're voting on stuff, and the people at home are trying to click you off. They're clicking the station. American Idol's still one of the top-rated shows, but they went down 30% since you became a judge, and they're so glad they got rid of you. Now, I don't know how you talk these women into going to bed with you. Well, I do know how you talk them into it. Cake! That's why they're ready to commit suicide, because they sell their souls just to be with you. Look, you're smelly, you're ugly, you're untalented, and the last time I seen a pantsuit like that, it was on a leisure suit. So, you get the Black Rose of the Week, Ellen, and you might win it again next week and the week after that. The Rick Castellano Show doesn't salute you, I salute myself. I tell it like it is all the time. Smoke 'em.